Hey, it's Anthony with Land Title. I wanted to bring you the Longmont update for the month of July, and lots of interesting things going on here, but a few takeaways I want you to be pretty mindful of. Even though the average sales price is down to 708, I think the composition of sales has changed quite a bit from this time a year ago because, as you can see, we really have been trending above last year. Now, are we going to see some shifts in the market? Of course, but I really don't think we're going to see decreasing average sales prices. So that being said, I think last month was a little bit of an outlier, the July numbers for 2021. So we're basically right on track. I think you can look more at the median and really see that we're still up 8%. That's a good sign. I mean, fiscal and monetary policy have kind of brought us back into play. You know, that the interest rates slowing have really kind of dragged that down just a little bit. We can't have another year with 20+% and still have an affordable marketplace. So the average sales price of condos and townhouses, this attached unit, we're seeing that in that 10 to 8% range as well. These are all really good signs that that's starting to slow just a little bit, but we're still dramatically up from where we were a year ago, like $50,000. So that's a big takeaway. The other thing about Longmont price per square foot is substantially more expensive than some of the surrounding area, and you're already seeing that slow down quite a bit, but I would expect that to come back down to, you know, around that 5 to 6% range probably for the year. You're going to see that in the attached market as well there. We're at 7%, so these numbers are starting to look really good. This is a good sign. Here's the one thing that's changing quite a bit is that total supply line. You're seeing the supply of inventory go up substantially. We're up basically 85, 90 units. And what we're seeing is a 50% shift from last year to this year, but keep in mind, 2021 was really the bottom of the barrel. We saw that in January and February this year as well. So a rising inventory is not such a bad thing when you just don't have enough to sell. So if you're a seller, take advantage of this market still before we see that inventory rise even more. Now, new listings coming to market, we're right on track with where we were a year ago. This is a really good sign. We're right in the mix of the last few years. Expect no difference for the rest of the year. I mean, people don't necessarily always know when they can sell. They sell when they have to sell, right? So that's part of the deal. Now, if we look at the buyer side of the situation, those pending numbers have slowed quite a bit over the last couple months. That's that knee-jerk reaction to higher interest rates and people reacclimating to what a new payment might look like or what they can afford based off of what they could afford a year ago. So there's some transition here, and I would expect that to stay, you know, maybe 10% less than where we were last year, or 15% less than last year for the duration of the year. Now, that's going to create a rise in inventory, and the month supply of inventory is already up from about a month to 1.7 months. Expect to continue to see that rise quite a bit. So if you're listing a home sooner than later is better. If you're a buyer, this is a good sign, but I wouldn't wait because prices are still going to continue to rise, and you don't want to get priced out of that market. Also, it wouldn't be a shocker if interest rates continue to rise to the end of the year as well. So that's kind of the most important pieces out of the buy side. Now, when we look at the speed of the market, this is that average days in MLS. This is active to under contract. We're right with where we were last year. It's been less than last year substantially for the beginning of the year, but that can't stay that way. Normally it looks more like a horseshoe, so expect this to rise through the end of the year. That means that it's going to take a little bit longer for things to start going under contract. We still had bidding wars though. Even though we're seeing a rise in inventory, we have so much demand side on the buyers that we just haven't slowed down enough. So it's going to continue to fall. That percentage close price to list price should be under 100%. That means less bidding wars in the marketplace, less chaos, kind of like we saw in the springtime where people were paying way over asking price. We're going to get back down to a little bit more reality. So that's a good sign for the Longmont marketplace. I would expect it to fall off kind of like to 2019 levels, which, if you remember right, was a very good year. If you have any other questions on the market, I'm Anthony at Land Title. Catch you next time.